Hi guys, I'm Mr. Rysz. I'm going to be your teacher for Algebra 2 this year, and this is just a introduction video to Algebra 2. Just to let you guys know what's going on. I got a PowerPoint presentation here to help you out, and so I will get that started. And let's go through. So Algebra 2, Mr. Rysz. Hold on a second. I don't think that worked. Let's go here, screen share. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Much better from the beginning. So Algebra 2, Mr. Rysz, here we go, room 508. So what is this class? This class is a third math course for high school. We'll guide you through other things like linear equations, inequalities, graphs, matrices, polynomials, radical expressions, quadratic equations, functions, exponential and logarithmic expressions, sequences and series, probability, and trigonometry. We'll hit as much as we can. Who knows how the pacing goes this year, but we will do the best we can. So it's like what you did in Algebra 1, except for a step up. So a big step up. So not just like more, problems here. So you might have done some problems where you had to go, solve for X. You might have had a couple problems that you had to solve for X and Y. Well, now we'll have problems that are X, Y, and Z, or even more than that. Or factoring. It was little, now we're going to do factoring a lot. So it's a big step up from Algebra 1. So here are the rules in this class. Make sure you're on time to this class. If you need to go to the restroom, see me first, but make sure you're here on time. That's going to be a big deal. We are in the back, and so I understand that. I usually give about a 1-minute leeway when it comes to coming into this class, but there we go. Use appropriate language. I think that goes unsaying. And make sure your phones are away during instructional time. So hopefully you're doing that at home. There's no way I can stop you from home from doing that, but let's do some self-monitoring here. This is how we become a better student. Be kind and respectful for others. We'll talk about that especially more later, but common courtesy will go real far. And then the other thing is no food. Several reasons why there. I also teach a lot of computer stuff, and there's robots in here. Can't have crumbs and things like that. So make sure there is no food during this time. Right, what do you need to bring to class? Make sure your Chromebook is charged and you're ready to go, whether you're at home or here. We can't be moving a lot, so I can't have you guys out by the outlets or anything like that. So make sure your Chromebook is charged and we will be using it every day. Pencil or pen, something to write down with. A lot of times you're going to have to do your work on a separate piece of paper and then type your answers in online. Make sure you have some type of notebook for this class. I would recommend a 3-ring binder. I will print off all my notes and materials for you guys. They will be hole punched so you guys can use them in there. All right, so where do grades come from? I am pretty straightforward when it comes to things. There's going to be your formative assessments, so anything we do in class. There are online assignments called CYUs. That's just an online assessment that I check to see if you understand what we went over, and then we'll have labs. Most likely at the beginning of the year, most of the work is going to be the CYU assessments, and we'll talk about those briefly online. And once we talk about the online classroom, we'll get more into details, but that's where majority of your day-to-day work will be. We still will have tests and quizzes. We'll see if they're going to be online or not. I really don't have a problem with them being online. I can trust you guys. I can monitor you guys if I have any concern. And you probably should get used to taking a test online. We will have projects towards the end of the year, and we'll have semester and final exams. It's pretty straightforward math. More about grading. How do you get your grade? I will take the total amount of points that you got and divide by the total amount of points possible. So I do not weight anything. I don't say like tests are worth 30% and homework's worth 20% and the project. No, it's just if we have a big test, it's worth more points than a small homework assignment. So you go through that. Usually I try to make, the rule of thumb is I try to make the test worth as many points as the homework during that section. So say we had 10 homework assignments during a unit, and those were 4 points apiece. That's 40 points. I'll try to make the test around a 40-point test. So if you did all your homework, got 100% on all of them, well, that's 50% of the online work. So there'll be homework pretty much every day in Algebra 2, and we'll talk about that more, what it's going to be like. So classwork policy, here we go, is the majority of the work that you guys will do will be submitted on a learning management system known as Canvas. I will have a Google Classroom, but your Google Classroom will just link to Canvas. I use Canvas. I've been using it for several years now. That's what I did my master's paper on, was the Canvas learning management system. It's what a lot of colleges use, and I am a large proponent of why we should use Canvas, at least for a math classroom. So you should log in there every day, look at the assignments and see when their due dates are. All right, there will be 2 due dates for all assignments. So if you look on Canvas, you'll see an assignment and you'll see a due date, and that's basically the day you should get it done. So if it's a simple 4-question quiz, you should get it done that day. Now there will be also another date that you'll have to kind of watch our videos and see, the last acceptance day. The last acceptance day will be the day before a test, and that's the last day you can turn in any assignment late without, and still receive points. Once we pass that last acceptance date, our assignments will no longer be able to be turned in, and it's too late. So that's what I just explained here. So make sure you, on your due dates, you look to see when they're due. So that's the pacing you should be at day by day. And it's okay, sometimes you might be a day behind, you might have been sick, you might have just had some other things going on, you had to go to work, you couldn't get the assignment done for that night, but that probably means the next day you have 2 assignments to do. And that's totally fine as long as you get it done within that range. Once we hit that day of the test, once we are taking that assessment, that last acceptance day is the cutoff, and those assignments will be no longer accepted. So pay attention to that. That's kind of, if you are a procrastinator, that's the day you need to pay attention to. All right. So on Canvas, the one thing that's nice is pretty much everything that you will do, you'll have the ability to retake and resubmit all the assignments into that. So say we went through a lesson, you didn't do too well on it, you got a 2 out of 4 on it, 50%. But you moved on. But as we move on throughout the section, you understand it better. If you want to go back and just increase that grade, that's fine. So you will always have that opportunity. All right, test corrections. There will be test corrections in this class, and we'll have to see how this goes if there's a paper or if we're doing it online. I probably will stick to paper, but I will see. But I will accept test corrections. So every test will have test corrections available. How they work is if you take the test, you'll get back, or do the test corrections, you'll get back half the points you missed. So if you got a 50% on the test, you can get back half of the 50% you missed, so 25, and bring that 50% F up to a 75. If you got a 90% on the test, you can do test corrections. You make your 90, let's say 90%. If you got a 90% on your test, you can get back half of the 10% you missed and make that a 95. If you got a 20%, you did terrible, you bombed it, 20%, meaning you missed 80% of the test. You can still do a test correction packet. You can get back half the points you missed, so you can get back half of the 80, which would be 40. Add that to the 20% you got right, and that takes you up to a 60% D. So test corrections are going to be really important if you are a bad test taker. All right. The test corrections will be a different version of the test, so it'll be the exact same thing that the test is, just different numbers, different versions of it. You only have to complete the problems that you miss. So say you went through, you did the test, you did everything great except for the one section with factoring trinomials. You just wasn't clicking today, you forgot how to do it, you bombed it. So you got everything else right. Well, you only need to work on that one problem. Now, if you did terrible on the test, you probably got to work on every other problem, but you only need to do the ones that you miss. So you don't have to do the entire packet, only the ones that you miss. And so when you turn those in, you will turn in your test and your test recovery packet in at the same time. All right. You will have 1 week, so there will be a timeline to that. So I don't want to wait till the end of the quarter and you're like, hey, can I make up the chapter 1 test? Be like, oh no, that was 7 weeks ago. So you have 1 week from the day I give you guys the test back to turn that in. All right, so when it comes to this class, what are the 2 biggest reasons for failure? Why do kids fail this class? Is attendance. Kids don't show up, they don't learn the assignment, they don't know what they're doing, can't help them out there, and not turning in their work. If they're here, but they're not doing anything, you're not gonna pass. So hopefully you guys can pay attention to that, and that'll be all right. Okay, so here's the big thing that we need to talk about, what's going to be new this year with everything going on in 2020. All right, so first off, we will follow the mask and social distance mandates. I am not wearing my mask right now because I am alone in this room, but I will always have my mask on if you see me in here. So I will have my mask, and we will have social distancing going on. The desks are already spaced out. Now, I do have rolly chairs, so please do not roll your chair closer to the other desk to eliminate the 6 feet apart. We pretty much have several desks in here, 13, and that we're optimizing the space as we can. Okay, here's another thing. For my personal kind of thoughts on this, I will not be handing out any work or collecting. I don't want to take anything from me, give it to you, or vice versa. I don't want to take anything from you, give it to me, and take it back. So all printed off things will be available for you in the back of the room. They'll be sorted out by days. I might have to do that a little bit differently. Actually, I'll just split the copies because some people will be here on Tuesdays, some people here will be Wednesdays. And those will be there for you. So if you want a copy of the notes so you can handwrite on, you can grab those. I'm not going to be handing them out. They'll be in the back. I will try to print these off well in advance so they have plenty of time to just sit in the back, do their thing. All right, here's the big thing. Other teachers might not be doing this, but I will be doing this, and I will be doing this until we are away from the hybrid model. I will not be leaving my bubble around my desk. Please have the common courtesy to respect my decision for this. I need to protect myself and my family first. Without getting into too much details, I have my own personal health problems that concern me when it comes to anything related to COVID. My wife has some personal health issues, and it's something we don't want to mess with. We have family and other friends that we look after and take care of. And so please respect our time during this. It's going to be different. It's going to be hard, but hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from. So I will not come out to you and help you out, sit next to you if you have a question. We're going to have to learn a new way to answer that. So I will answer the questions as best I can from my desk. Now, if you ask me something and you're just loud enough and it's something simple and quick that I can just answer, like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? Yeah, you can go. You don't have to send me an email. But if something like, hey, I don't understand this, we can set up a Zoom session to help you out. I hope you understand this. We will work through it. It will become normal. It won't be too bad, but I hope you understand. Now, I'm excited when these hybrid model gets lifted, we can go back to something different. But for right now, I need you guys to respect that. Some other things that will be new, we'll have the virtual Mondays. So these days, very little work will ever be assigned on those days. My goal for those days is just to go over a weekly go. So be like, all right, Tuesday we're going to be working on this, Wednesday we'll be working on this, Thursday this, Friday that. So your Mondays will be more likely a day to get caught up on anything. So if you had trouble on Thursday and Friday, couldn't figure out, those would be the days to get caught up. So the only time I will ever assign anything on Monday would be like if we finished a section on Friday or Thursday, depending on when you're here, to give like a pre-assessment. Like if I'm afraid that you might not know something or you might have covered something before, I might be like, all right, guys, this is what we're doing. And then can you take this optional quiz so that I'll just give you a couple points for it. So the split days, the Tuesday, Wednesdays and Thursday, Fridays, each day will be the same whether you're in the class or not. So I'm not going to be doing like something, I don't see how this works in math. I can see how it works better in other classes, but I'm not going to be like, all right, you're going to do this here, learn this assignment in class, then practice it on home on Wednesday, because that doesn't make sense for the people who are at home on Wednesday and then they're going to come here. So assignments are going to be split. I'm going to look at my pacing that I did last year, and what I covered in one day, I'm going to split into two. So it's going to be a lot shorter. So each day there will be an instructional video already set up for that lesson. So if you are at home on that day, you can watch the video and follow the online assessment. Now, if you're here in class, I can probably, and I'm going to try different methods. I can do a screencast to the projector. We can answer, we can go over things. But if you just want to sit there and watch the video like you were doing at home, that's fine with me. The one thing about all these online assessments during the time, they will have unlimited retakes. So you can keep trying and trying until you get things done. And so that's pretty much until we take a test in here. So what we're going to do next is the class to get to know you part. Usually I do this on note cards, but we're going to try something a little bit different. I want you guys to use anything that you want. So any medium, if you want to make a PowerPoint, if you want to use a Google Doc, if you want to make anything you want, a TikTok video or something, share that to me. My email address is j_riz@lcsschools.net. And just tell me some things about yourself. What's your name, class period, who knows what that is right now, but who did you have last year for math? So what did you take? And your favorite things, your movie, TV shows, things, clubs, activity, and then really what do you want to do next year? So if I get a lot of people in here that want to be into a business degree, I'm going to search for more business calculus examples. If I got a lot of people who want to go into engineering, I'm going to find engineering examples. So just let me know if you have an idea what you want to do next year. All right, so about me, my name's Justin Rysz. I'm originally from a small town in Ohio. I'm sorry, I just noticed this picture of me from like Christmas last year or a while ago. And then comparing to my face now, definitely the quarantine has affected the haircut. Okay, I live in Canal, Winchester, with my wife, Amanda, and we have a son, Bowie. He is 3.5, so that is a pretty old picture of him. And then we are expecting a baby boy around February 18th, and so probably comes to our concern. It obviously came to a complete surprise to us, and there's several reasons why, and that's why I'm really taking. We had our first fur baby there, Ollie. He is 10.5 years old. And he is a grumpus of a mutton chihuahua type mix. I don't know. All right, so what are some things I like to do? Some things I like to do is skateboard. I've been skateboarding since 2000, so 20 years this summer. I should probably be a lot better, but I'm not. Other things I like to do, I like to cook. Oh yeah, that is a picture of me doing Crooked Guy at the canal park. So I like to cook. I do all the cooking at our house. My wife is not the best cook at all. I always tease her because first time she tried to make mac and cheese when we lived together, she didn't realize you had to drain the noodles, and she just let them keep boiling and thought and put the cheese sauce in it, made like a mac and cheese soup, just thought it would like congeal together, but there we go. We're really into when we got free time, which isn't that often, watching TV, Netflix, and Hulu dramas. So Game of Thrones, super big into that. Have read all the books. Hopefully Winds of Winter comes out soon. Watch the show. Still a fan of it, even though the last season wasn't that great. The Office, still after all these years, we just rewatched The Office. My wife and I put it on every night when we go to bed. And the last 3 times we finished the series, we just started back over, so it doesn't stop. And then right now we're watching The Handmaid's Tale. That show is insane. And so usually other things I get into sports. We are season ticket holders for Ohio State football, although that is not happening this year. So hopefully you guys learn a little bit about me. You'll learn more as we move out, go throughout the year. But I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to get to know you guys, but I'm going to take my time, and I hope you guys respect that. All right, so best of luck. Let's do this year. We're going to have a fun year. It's going to be good. We'll make the best of it. End of the day.